We have made it up to number 30.
Wow, that's a lot. I never thought I'd get to be 30. Oh, wait a minute. I'm 2.5 times that old.
I have friends of mine in high school who swore they would never get to 30, and I have not heard from them in a while, so maybe they never did. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's not good. Hey, before you get rolling, a new Bloomberg and Morning Consult poll found that 53% of voters in key swing states would refuse to vote for Donald Trump if he were convicted of a criminal offense.
Okay.
A slightly higher share, 55%, say they would reach that conclusion if he were sentenced to prison. If those numbers are accurate, that could easily decide the election, given how close the two elections, 2016 and 2020, were. That could be a really big deal.
And I think there's nothing, if I remember correctly, having watched this on Fox News and CNN, that there's nothing in the Constitution that says if someone is convicted of a crime, is serving time for that conviction, they can't also be your president. There's nothing in the Constitution that says the president has to live in the White House. They could live at Rikers.
But that just blows number one, it just blows my mind that that's where we are right now. That's a thing for the first time in history that I'm aware of. That's where we are, and it just seems so bizarre that it could be that could be affecting the entire outcome of the political race.
It is a soap opera in every aspect of it, and it's one of those I almost wish I could, like, when you binge watch a soap opera or any show like that, there's a multitude of episodes every once in a while. I wish I could just skip to the last episode. Can we just skip to the last episode of this whole thing to find out how it does end?
Because no matter what, it's like, now he's being charged with this, now he's being charged with this, now he's being charged. So yeah, you know what? I'm camping on with you. I like that. Could we just know? Anyway, it just blew my mind, and I just wanted to share that with you.
Before we get into what everyone was talking about for about an hour or so on Tuesday, with Facebook being down and Instagram being down, and this is a tough one for me as well because I do a lot of communicating with people in and out of the building with Facebook Messenger. That was down, as well as Threads, which is basically Meta's response to Twitter, which really hasn't really caught on all that well. I want to mention a couple things. One, if you're listening to us online, remember you can actually watch as well on YouTube, because we're on YouTube as well. Like us and follow us on YouTube, and then, as they like to say, smash the bell for alerts. Whenever we drop a new episode, you can get the alert that way. I was not a subscriber to our YouTube channel until our second episode dropped last week, and I'm like, you know what? I should probably be on board with this.
Yeah, since it's us.
Yeah, so anyway. I can watch me do this every once in a while.
And find out what people think. That's more interesting for me. I'm like, hey, wow, there's people watching this.
So before we hit Facebook, I wanted to ask you about this.
Okay.
I got to put my readers on for this. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see me doing that. Did you hear about Michael Farchi?
You can probably tell by the vague look on my face, probably not.
Lives in Agora Hills. Stayed at the, which hotel casino was it? The Venetian in Las Vegas recently? Actually, no, back in December. Did you hear about this guy?
I think maybe I did.
Apparently, while he was staying at the Venetian back in December, he was stung.
By a scorpion.
On his junk.
Literally. All I can say is, I can only imagine. Because now, that would be insane.
I didn't have this reaction when I first came across this yesterday. I haven't talked about this on the air yet, but I thought about it. Again, this happened back in December. And from what he said, he felt a stabbing pain, went to the bathroom, and then saw the scorpion hanging off of his underwear. He has obtained an attorney.
Oh, my God.
And my thinking is he is suing the Venetian for pain and suffering. And, Las Vegas is in a desert. It doesn't happen often, but this sort of thing is going to happen when you are in another creature's natural habitat.
We see tarantulas here. That's not surprising.
Rattlesnakes if you go up in the mountains, and who knows what else.
No, we had them. We had, when we were over on Mooney, there was one right out in the parking lot.
So it happens. Here's the thing, though. Say you're Michael Farchi, and again, I'm going to say his name as often as I can, from Agora Hills. I would give out his address and phone number if I could, because he made this public. If something like this happened to you, and say you had a friend of yours that was an attorney and said, you know what, Mike, I bet I can get you a great settlement, like a couple $100,000 easily. However, do keep in mind, this is going to go public. Your name is going to be out there, and then everyone will know that a scorpion stung your junk.
And honestly, I'll bet his lawyer said, in order to accelerate and me to maximize what I can get for you, I am going to put it way out there.
Now, if it were you, would that be a fair trade-off? Again, there's no guarantee of a payoff from the Venetian. They may or may not settle out of court. It may or may not go to court. And even if it does go to court, you could lose, in which case you're also on the hook for your lawyer fees. And then the entire world also knows you got stung by a scorpion in an area you would rather not talk about. So with all those moving parts, would you have just said, you know what, that was a little painful, but I really don't feel like letting the whole world know about this? Or would you be willing to roll the dice? Pun intended.
Honestly, roll the dice. You didn't just say that. Honestly, yeah, everybody's got junk. Everybody's got it.
Okay.
Everybody could get stung. I hope it doesn't happen. And I mean, it's bed bugs all the time, even at not necessarily the Venetian. I almost got sued. And I mean, those things are potential. I mean, if the lawyer could get me a few $100,000.
Again, no guarantee.
I just said if.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? They're going to forget who I am in a year.
All right.
It won't even take that long. I'm nobody. I am Johnny Nobody, except in the South Valley. Only because I'm on the radio.
Well, then suddenly, again, this guy, Michael Farchi from Agora Hills, he is suddenly a somebody for all the wrong reasons.
We are never going to forget his name.
A lawyer would have to convince me
Huh?
that, one, there was enough pain and suffering involved. If there was damage done to the nether region that was irrevocable, nothing could be done. Doctor would say, listen, you're going to have a sensation down there from this point on that is going to be a little unpleasant. There's really nothing we can do about it short of cutting things off you probably want to keep.
Is he permanently damaged?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That would, for me, that would be the fact that it would say, you know what? Yeah, if you're reasonably certain that this is going to be successful and I've got some serious damage there, then I would at least entertain the possibility. I still can't tell you definitively. I would say, yes, let's go ahead and put my name, put my city, put everything else out there so the world would know what had happened, because supposedly what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, not in this case.
But I didn't, if it were me, if it happened to me, I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
I didn't commit a crime. I didn't do a jackass, you know what I mean? A stunt. I didn't do something stupid. I didn't disregard common sense. I got nailed by a scorpion, man.
But we all have that friend, though. And I don't know if you have one. I know I do. That would never, ever let me hear the end of it. And I would have it coming if I made the choice to make this public.
I don't know. I might be able to live with it. A couple $100,000. Put that in a fund, and I'm a homeowner. You know, that money would they'd give me some peace of mind that the scorpion didn't.
Buy off that friend's silence, if nothing else.
There you go. But wait, I just broke even. Nah, never mind. No, but I don't know. I'm not that self-conscious about that. In this case, you know, it's not like, I don't know. It's not like you're actually deformed or there's something wrong with you, and that got out there. Or I committed a crime, and that got out there. A scorpion stung you. You were just trying to stay the night, man. You were just trying to get a night's sleep.
And another point, and I'll just mention it quickly, I don't know how he necessarily has a case because, again, it's Las Vegas. Things happen. I mean, what if you get stung by a bee while you're in a hotel room? Is the hotel really responsible? Because this scorpion was small, like 2 or 3 inches long.
But their sting
could have gotten in any way, anyhow. I mean, who knows?
Boy, those stings are potent, though, man. They hurt. I don't know. Yeah, you know, and again, there's no, like you said earlier, we can't guarantee the outcome. There's no for sure thing, but it'd be worth a shot.
Yeah, so again, Michael Farchi from Agora Hills will be keeping an eye on this one.
Who was that, Mike? Who was that again?
Michael Farchi, Farchi from Agora Hills.
Again.
Again.
Got it.
All right, so on to the big
thing.
one. Jeez. It was interesting yesterday now when this happened with Facebook going down because I was in the middle with communicating with Jennifer Grant, who does our midday show, and I always kind of keep her in the know as to what's going on so when she comes in, come 10 o'clock, she could hit the ground running. So we were messaging back and forth, and at one point I sent a message to her, and it said, unable to send. I'm like, but things happen, a little glitch in the matrix, no problem. So I went to Facebook to post something, and I saw I had been logged out. I'm like, oh, no. And if you're into the show as much as I would like you to be every single morning, every hour at least, I'm posting things up on Facebook in conjunction with things that I'm talking about on the air. And I try to time that out just right. So I really wanted this post to go up. I'm like, okay, so let me put on my password, not recognized. And you do the whole, okay, I must have done a keystroke wrong. I did that 5 or 6 times. Until that point, I literally did a copy and paste because I noticed not only was I logged off in the building, I was logged off on the app too.
At this point, the uh-oh feeling has to be coming.
So I tried that, and again, same thing. And at that point, I came out of my little hole, or my 97.5 studio, and I literally got, is anyone else having a problem with, and then Colin from the other room, yeah, Facebook's down.
And I logged in, and sure enough, nothing.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It was, and to this point, and this is 36 hours or so removed from it happening as we're talking right now, Facebook still hasn't really come up other than to say, and I forget the exact terminology they use, but a technical issue, I think is what they said. That's it. But in saying technical issue, they're not saying internal technical issue or external technical issue. And all the conspiracy theorists with it happening on Super Tuesday were convinced that this is China, this is Russia. This is the Democrats, this is the Republicans. Somebody decided to pull a plug over at Facebook headquarters and see what happened.
That's pretty crazy. And the funny thing to me was the folks like you, the folks like me, we really don't even have a choice because we're in media and we have to, we're constantly using it. And so it's a busy thing. But folks like my mother-in-law, for instance, she didn't even know it happened.
What's a Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm surprised she didn't call it FaceTime. But it was, but she was like, oh, she's from New Jersey. Oh, that really happened? I'm like, yeah, you say it that way. We have people in the building that are like, ah!
Yeah.
And look who we've become, is what I'm trying to say. Look who we've become. I mean, not even 15, maybe 20 years ago, cell phones weren't even that big a deal, or however long it's been. And now, I mean, I wouldn't go anywhere without my phone. I can't. One of my favorite comedians does a whole routine about, would you go to the airport without a phone? Don't even leave your house.
No.
You couldn't even
leave the driveway.
You can't do anything at the airport without your phone. But people react now that way to their social media. To which they have to respond all of their social media. The 2 or 3 that they're on, that they're constantly updating. My daughter is constantly updating her Instagram. And I get ding every 20 minutes. Oh, there's a new picture of Aiden, my grandson. There's my daughter's at the restaurant she manages. Oh, that looks good. I'll have to go try that. Da 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 da. And it just, it was like War of the Worlds, only digitally.
And just keep in mind, neither one of us would come anywhere close to calling us influencers as far as often as we post and the things we post about and how pivotal that is, because that is a revenue stream.
Exactly.
To make sure you get that stuff out there as you're commenting on this, that, and the other thing. For me, with it happening while I was on the air, it was I want to get this stuff out there. I kind of need to get this stuff out here. We don't have a social media director here in the building. It's kind of just a hodgepodge of, well,
it's us.
You do your station. So I've just kind of taken it upon myself over the years, saying, okay, well, someone should do it. Our program director wants it done. He's got other irons in the fire. So I was like, okay, that's one thing I can kind of take off his plate without having that conversation. So I always try to make sure, again, every hour during the show, I get at least one thing on, and then a couple of things on while Jennifer is on the air, because I know she's busy with some other things. So, and updating our website at the same time. Now, thank goodness the website didn't go down, but it got me thinking, and you kind of slowly kind of segued onto it, thinking about now that we have this tool, Facebook, Instagram, whichever one you happen to like the most, how much would your world change if it was down for a month?
For me, honestly, zero. Because beyond professionally, that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
For me personally, it wouldn't affect me at all. I have one of the most boring personal Facebook sites on the planet. And just more and more, it's become that by choice. I love you all, my Facebook friends, but my friends are really my friends. Mm-hmm. And those are the ones I'm spending more time with now that I'm in my mid-60s. And it's not that big a deal for me. I don't send you my food ever. I don't check in many places at all unless it's a big concert that's really cool. I don't really do a lot of checking in anymore. Beyond the professional work I do on the My 97.5 site, because I want you guys to know everything we're doing, where we're at, want to get you out there, see the cool stuff that's going on when we're doing cool stuff. My personal site's not that, you're not missing much. You're really not. And, I mean, that's how it is for me. How about you?
I hate saying this, and I'm sure a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it is because I've been the one that's kind of taken the forefront, at least with my 97.5, as far as posting as much as I do for the station and for myself up there, that I get so tied into it here, I do take that part of my work home with me. So, and I hate this. There must be a condition that goes with this, but I will see when I post something that I think on my own personal page that I think this is going to get a reaction. This is going to go viral as much as my stuff goes viral. And when it doesn't, I will. I can't believe I'm admitting this. I will go down that rabbit hole, and then I will look and see of my real life friends, which ones have not gone to the page yet and liked it and commented. And I'm like, why didn't Brian comment on my post? Maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore. And I'm like, I hear myself thinking that.
Yeah, Brian's out for the New Year's party, Seska.
I'm
out.
like, oh, don't be that guy. But at times I do, and I equate mentally, if they don't like my stuff on Facebook, maybe they don't like me. So I can't even imagine being in high school right now and having those insecurities we all had in high school. And again, posting something that you think all your friends are going to love and react to, and you get no reaction at all. It truly would feel like a slap in the face. And
by the way, good luck with that. You're just starting to have kids that are ready to engage in that. I've been through it already. Mm-hmm. My daughters got lambasted, and the girls are sorry ladies, you are way worse than the guys. Guys, we go outside at the noon or at 3:30 after school. There's a quick fight. It's over and out. With the ladies, you lurk and you're mean and you go after each other on Facebook. And I don't like that at all. But I watched my daughters go through this. Uh-huh. All of a sudden they don't have Facebook for a while because it was just too much to deal with. Or it's rough, man. It's rough. It takes a thicker skin to be in high school this day, especially for a lady. And junior high's worse because those girls don't really have the social understanding of what's appropriate and what's not. They're still learning boundaries, and they can just be just nuts out there sometimes.
Yeah, the cyberbullying aspect of it is one thing, and maybe that's another subject we'll get into at some other point if we ever have like a really heart-to-heart, little more serious Mike and Mike's Off-Air podcast. But just thinking again, I remember how insecure I was in high school. Because as we talked the other day at lunch, I spent 2 years of high school in Illinois, freshman, sophomore year. And then my parents decided, California looks nice. Let's move from northern Illinois to the Salinas Valley. So my junior, senior year, when everybody has all their friendships already set up and all the cliques are already set. I mean, that's when square pegs I mean, I was in one of those schools. Every school was like that. And comes this new kid who's trying to find his way. I can't even imagine trying to navigate that
As a junior?
in person, and then having the added wrinkle of social media as well, where I'm trying to become friends with everyone. So I post something on Facebook. Oh, they're going to love this, and crickets.
Yeah, you're a junior and you've just moved
Yeah.
to the new high school. Hey, career day! I just got here. That would be rough.
So yeah, I hate the fact that I am that guy, but at least I'm willing to embrace the fact that I am, and I need to let some of that go. That hanging my personality on what happens to be on Facebook. I love it because there are some friends of mine from high school. That's the only way we communicate anymore. Because we're so busy with our own lives, with kids and jobs
Yeah.
and everything else, we will comment on each other's posts, and we'll kind of catch up with a little Facebook message here and there, and then another 2 or 3 months will go by, and then we'll react to another post from someone else.
You just reminded me of one. I worked at a radio station a long time ago called KRQK. It's over on the coast. It's Hispanic now, but it was top 40 and then rock for a long time. I was the first program director. And there is actually a Facebook site. I worked at KRQK. And it's still active, and we still...
Okay.
So that's something I go on. You just reminded me, because there's probably a guy who you communicate 4 times, maybe 3 times a year with. You okay? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I do on this side. It's like, oh, hey, Donnie, good to see you. You good? All right. And yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that aspect of Facebook. And one thing you mentioned yesterday, that I, as a small business owner, a lot of folks, that's their only advertising.
Yep.
So that was a big deal in that respect.
Especially not knowing. I mean, if they had known, if Facebook somehow got out on Twitter, X, because they couldn't get the word out on Facebook, hey, we're going to be down for an hour. After 60 minutes, we will be back up. We had no idea when they were coming back on.
Which makes it clear that neither did they.
Yeah.
So
All right, so we had some fun. We got a little heavy there for a little bit, but hopefully, and again, I'll say his name one more time because I promised I would. Michael Farchi from Agora Hills.
hey, Michael, where did he get stung?
He got stung at the Venetian in his junk.
Thank you. Oh, no, thank you.